Do you believe in God? Oh, I think Gus might. But seriously, do you believe in God? And what God do you believe in? Do you believe in a God that sacrifices self for others? Or do you believe in a God that expects conformity? Do you believe in a God that would destroy Mother Earth for the sole purpose of making this illusionary thing called money, which then would kill all of the creation that God has created, humanity? Do you believe in that? I don't believe in that God. That's not the God that I believe in. That God, that frequency that people refer to in organized religions that expect you to congregate in big elaborate buildings, and they pay exorbitant amounts of money to someone who says that they can talk to that God. So that frequency, and as I said in one of my first videos, gamma over delta, God, G-O-D, gamma over delta. That was something that had come through to me when I was cracking everything open in my remembering, connecting, downloading, whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter. And that's the frequency, because when I looked up what gamma and delta meant, and the specific phrase gamma over delta, it was connected directly to trading, investments. And so that is an integral part of a capitalistic society. The win at all costs, the power over society, the hierarchical, there's someone at the top and doesn't matter about anybody else that you had to step on to get there. That's not the God I believe in. I believe in a source, the thing that fuels us, that drives us, that is us, that has the greater knowledge and awareness and takes everyone into account, takes everything. How can you not when you are it? How can you not consider that when you are it? You're a part of it. I think that will be the big reveal and awakening when people really start to, even more than they already have started, to consider where they are where they focus their attention, and in turn what they receive is the words and the actions aren't matching up. Something's got to give. Something has got to give. And is it too late? Are we in end of times? Like my initial dream of being the seventh trumpet and calling out that we are in the apocalyptic ending of whatever you want to call this illusion, timeline, realm, dimension, whatever you want to, it doesn't, the words don't matter. Our shared experience is what matters. So are we in it? And if we are, what can we do about that? What can we do about that? When you think about that, end of times. So the death of something. The death of something. And if someone is, like a person, a human, is at the end of their life, what do we do for them? Right? In the most just world, like for me, in a first world country, for some people, not all, it's for the people who have access. We would take care of their health, any of their mental health needs, physical, emotional needs. If they had pain, we would help them with pain. We would take them and put them in an environment that supported them and took care of all of their other needs. We would change. We would change the environment and the support team around them to make sure that they're most comfortable at the end of this experience. And so, if this is the end of our experience, shouldn't we then start to take care of our own physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual needs? Shouldn't we then surround ourselves in an environment that is comforting and supportive and conscientious, that loves us and treats us with dignity and respect? And shouldn't we offer that to others as well, regardless of their perceived status? And what if those things that we did, believing that there is no future, what if those things that we did actually changed everything and created a future for us? What if we did those things and it changed everything? And by us changing and being kind and loving and considerate and compassionate and comforting and thoughtful and only taking what we give, everything in balance with the universe, the earth, everything. Do you think then that everything would change and that there would be a future because we're projecting one? I don't believe in anything that requires you to pay for your very existence. You exist regardless of what you contribute or don't contribute monetarily. So discussions about end of times, which, I mean, when has humanity, not talked about that or considered it? Because people who are in positions of power and control over populations use fear of that, fear that you will be extinguished. Your very existence is in peril. It's being threatened somehow. So we need to fight. We need to defend. We need to set boundaries and borders and create these imaginary lines. But when all of that is removed and you look at it from a bigger picture, what is it that humanity is always striving for? It's meaningful connection. It's to be seen, be heard, to be reflected as existing. So what if you let go of all of these values and beliefs that you've held so tightly to as your identity? You let go of them. And you started to see who you truly are and how we all are looking for the same thing. Some just in different places than others. Some that are more willing to and desperate. I wouldn't say willing. I would say some who are more desperate. They are more disconnected than anyone else from that sense of belonging, that they will do anything to feel that connection. But when you take or diminish or extinguish someone else, you couldn't be further from having meaningful connection, the thing that you were originally striving for. So when you look at it that way, what do you have to lose? What do you have to lose? Being kind, believing that this world, the one that we're perceiving and projecting and living within, is worth saving. What if you stop listening to all of the narratives of these people? This is what you're listening to. You're feeding off of these doomsday narratives. I believe that even with that seventh trumpet dream and experiences that I had, and have had actually throughout my whole life, it's all culminating into these remembering of how important it is for us to see that as much as we think that we are looking at the bigger picture, we're still within the illusion. And we're still running on subconscious patterns and information that we've been force-fed. And once we have that realization that our energy is that powerful, our energy, what we believe, is that powerful. If we believe that the apocalypse is happening, in the sense that the world just blows up, Earth is just decimated, humanity does not survive, everything is dead, and you wouldn't even want to be alive if that happened. If we believe that, then our intention and our focus is heading in that direction, because you cannot drive a vehicle. I cannot be driving where I want to go if I'm looking out the side window. It doesn't work. So start believing. Start living as though there is a tomorrow, and there's another tomorrow, and a tomorrow after that. And that we can rebalance. the world that we want to live in by connecting with others on small levels and not jumping on board that gamma over delta, power over frequency of fear. I believe in tomorrow, and I believe in the tomorrow after that. We're just in the midst of a clearing out, a rebalancing. And it's needed. The injustice and the disparity between the haves and the have-nots, that's not anything that can last. And who does that benefit? And why would you want to continue to exist in a world like that? I believe that there are far more good people, good, loving, kind, considerate, integrated, balanced people than there are those who are in the extremes. I've always believed that. Even those who have committed serious harm and damage, there's still worth, there's still value there. It's what a person does with the event that they either experienced or they perpetrated. Did you learn from it? Have you made changes? Has there been any kind of meaningful exchange of accountability? You don't have to speak to someone. You change in your actions and your behaviors. You don't have to stick around and hang out with someone who has hurt you. I don't recommend it. But you learn from it. And you shift and you recognize what in you is calling to be seen and heard. Until next time, everyone, stay safe and stay connected, and we'll see you really soon. Bye.